Welcome to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. I'm so excited for season 2 and the great guests you're going to hear from, their struggles, how they overcame their struggles, their triumphs. Through personal and business life, I think they're tied together, and we're going to share great stories about that. This show isn't just about me. It takes a lot of good people working with me. Among them is my partner, H7 Network, and Clay Hicks. Building relationships, building community is the mission of H7 Network. They want to create a network of champions where everybody wins. Find out more at h7network.com. And we hope to motivate you, inspire you, and educate you through our show. Enjoy the show. We'll talk to you on the other side. Welcome, everybody, to another awesome episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. And I've got an international guest today who does some unique things for a unique industry, which we'll get into. Paul, welcome to the show.
Steve, thank you very much. I'm absolutely thrilled to bits to be here today. Thank you for the invitation.
And just so everybody knows, it's not the Paul McCarthy that sings in the Beatles, but he's even better.
Do not worry. I cannot sing. Nobody wants to hear me sing.
I love it. Tell me a little bit about your background.
Sure thing. My name is Paul McCarthy. I grew up on a farm in County Cork in Ireland, one of 12 kids. So we used to joke growing up, we had a soccer team and a substitute in our family. I studied computer science in college and then spent about 15 years traveling the world. I spent 10 years in New York. I spent a bit of time in Australia, Germany, Mexico City, always working on pretty leading edge IT projects. So I've got 25 years of computer IT experience. And in parallel with that, I have 25 years of managing and maintaining commercial and residential property as part of a family business. So both of those have come together to the company we're going to be talking about today.
Family is important, and family and business can be a challenge sometimes. I did that myself.
It can. Growing up on a farm, it was basically we had 12 laborers working with my dad and my mom, and it was actually brilliant. You learn to do a huge amount of things. You learn the foundation of teamwork, looking out for each other. You learned how to work hard. That's for sure. You know, that was one of the greatest things that was ever instilled to me. And you also learned very early on how to solve problems with limited resources.
Yeah, there you go. And that's a great experience. And that, I'm sure, is helping you what you're doing today, all these experience, your life experience and work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're keen, no matter how fast we grow and how many customers we take on board from all around the world. I'm keen to keep the company very, very lean. And we like to say our North Star is simplicity. So we want to always work on the simplest and most universal features in Snapfix, which is our company. And the analogy I typically use is Microsoft Word. It's a wonderful product, no question, but just for comparison purposes, we all pay for 100% of it and we use 1% of it. And at Snapfix, we're only working on the 1% of task management software that people will use.
Very interesting. I like your philosophy. It's very, very cool because right nowadays with COVID, people have lost a few businesses in this time. And the leaner you can be, the less chance of that happening and more chance of growth. And I guess you could always add later on as you grow, correct?
You can, and with any company, we're 26 people now. Every single person that you add to the team affects the culture of the team, is super important. And getting the best people for the role. You know, you could have 5 average people, or you could have one really, really good person. And my preference is to have a small number of experts working in their chosen area in Snapfix, and they get full autonomy. We have a no blame culture. We're running through walls and making mistakes. And anytime we hit a mistake, I say, don't worry about it. I do about 10 times that every day. So stop worrying about it. And it's all about just being accepting of that. So of the 10 things we're planning this month, expect one to be a mistake. And when it comes, we'll go, yeah, we were expecting that. Let's not panic. Let's just keep moving forward at all times.
True leader. I love that, Paul. It's true leader. Let's jump into Snapfix. I did some research on it. I'm a tech guy myself. I have a tech product, so I'm really excited to learn more. Tell us Snapfix, what it does and what your goal and mission is with the product.
Okay. So it all kind of harkens back to 25 years of IT experience working on large, typically enterprise systems, which were, I got to be honest, clunky, cumbersome, and the end user wasn't always the priority. And I decided about 6 years ago to not do that anymore, and I wanted to put the customer first. And I did a lot of study around how Steve Jobs and Jony Ive designed the iPhone and the iPad and the iPod. And it was around a ruthless obsession to eliminate everything that wasn't absolutely essential. That's a bit of a mouthful, but you get the whole idea. You just trim everything back. You design your product, then you cut it in two, then you cut it in two again. And when you have it to the bare minimum, now you've got something that's worth talking about. So I did that in the early days. I decided to, let me roll back a little bit. I was managing a number of properties, both commercial and residential, and everybody was tapping me on the shoulder, sending me emails, putting Post-it notes on my face. It was just, the information was just all over the place, and it was very, very unpleasant. The common denominator at the time, Steve, is that the world was moving to communicating using photos and messaging. WhatsApp at the time was transacting about 60 billion messages a day. Today, I think it's like 120 billion messages a day. It's something absolutely enormous. So the entire world is communicating using photos and messaging. And I was looking at this. And of course, I was receiving a lot of text messages and WhatsApps and everything. And it was great for chat, but it wasn't good for task management or project management or getting things done. So I looked to the market, didn't find something that was simple enough for me, and then a light bulb went off literally when I was near my home, and I spotted at a junction the traffic interacting at a junction using the traffic lights, and I was like, that's it. The traffic light is the global symbol for teamwork. Everybody gets it. It's nice and simple. It's the power of three, and I overlaid this red, yellow, green traffic light system on a photo and messaging platform, and this is Snapfix. If you're walking around a building with your team, you spot a problem, you capture it, it's in red, you're working on it, it's in progress in yellow, and it's completed in green. Super simple.
I'm just going to say, it simplifies the process, but a picture says 1,000 words, and you've taken that quote and really added to it. Because maintenance, I used to run health clubs, so I know maintenance can be a nightmare. And I know hotels, it can be as well. What's some of the goals of the company where you are now? What's the future look like for you guys?
Well, if I kick down the road to our mission and our future, we're on the mission to be the maintenance platform for the world. It's a very lofty goal. We're going to achieve that through an absolute obsession with simplicity. Everybody can take a photo. As you said, a photo speaks 1,000 words. Photo also speaks every language, and everybody understands traffic lights. So the combination of both of those two concepts, the photos and the traffic lights, is essentially a new language. If you want to get visionary about it, we have teams now on 5 continents speaking I don't know how many dialects and languages using Snapfix. They're communicating effectively using photos, and they're collaborating red, yellow, green, their workflow using traffic lights. And that's very, very exciting. I roll it back to where we are today. When we started out on hotels, which we loved because we wanted an environment to really stress test the product. Hotels operate 24/7. They demand high quality, and they have a large audience of multilingual staff. So they were absolutely perfect until March 2020 when COVID hit. And then the brakes went on everything. Obviously, we had wonderful hotel customers on board. We lost no customer, which was fantastic. They still had to manage their multi-million dollar assets. But we went wide at that point, and we started selling to construction and engineering companies, office facilities managers, apartment property managers, basically anybody that would talk to us. In the last 6 months, I've pulled it back again to put a real focus on hospitality. We want to, in the startup world, you always want to get to what they call product market fit, which is the most perfect product for that sector. So we're really doubling down, probably 80% of our focus back on hotels. We know we've got it. We're improving our features every single month. We're reducing clicks for our users, and we've the foundation is right. We're just making it better and better and better all the time.
And if I could add, one, using a cell phone, which every tech has in their hand, in their pocket. Hospitality or hotel employee has a phone, that's such a great tool to use. I do the same thing with my InPhone product. It's so powerful because you don't have an excuse. You can't take a picture. Don't you have a phone with you? Or give you a company phone whenever you go. The second thing is the speed of maintenance. I love that because my dad was a contractor for 40 years and he was repairing and fixing and building. If you could do it faster, you're a rock star, using a Paul McCarthy theme here, right?
Definitely. The photo, I heard a great quote. It's not my quote. I heard a great quote recently that the camera is the new keyboard. So people are literally communicating without any language or anything like that, using the camera. We love the smartphone. The capability and devices in the smartphone are only going to get better. Today, for example, we capture a photo in the GPS location. In 5-7 years' time, we'll be capturing air quality, the temperature, the barometric pressure, just other data points that we can use to serve and deliver more value to our customers.
Is the future as well, because I can see this Snapfix work with plumbers, trades. Is that the future of Snapfix?
Yes. We already, during COVID, when we went wide and sold internationally to all sectors, we would have a lot of trades using it for snagging, for recording their work done, for identifying new opportunities, for doing surveys and inspections before quotations, anything. Instead of having it all on their camera roll or on their WhatsApp or whatever, they have it in a system that they can organize and structure and generate reports and the like.
If anybody wants to reach out to you, we've got really delved into it. How can they reach out to you, Paul?
Our website is snapfix.com. My personal email is paul@snapfix.com. I'm happy to talk to anybody at any point in time.
Yeah, and I'm sure if somebody, like if a plumber calls you and says, hey, I'm interested, can you take on some of those industries? If somebody on the show hears it, says, hey, Paul, I've got this trade, can you work with me?
Absolutely. The easiest thing they can do is just go to the website and then go to the App Store, just download it, try it for free, and then you got the option to subscribe, pay by the month, cancel any time, or pay annually. On the annual licenses, we love to offer unlimited user licenses. We don't want people to be worried about, I want to add somebody this month or next month or whatever. We like to offer overwhelming value for those licenses.
I was the operation director at my my health club, which is somewhat similar to a hotel when I walked in and think, Absolutely. And I had to handle all the maintenance and have maintenance. If you have a trade, please reach out to Paul, because I know that what I had to deal with, the paperwork and the notebooks, and talk to my cousin who was the boss and, hey, what's fixed? Having that report is powerful for your boss to know, the owner, CEO. But I'm going to put out a challenge because I like Paul a lot. I love his name, by the way. But more than his name, what he's doing, the first 2 people that reach out to Paul and he lets me know that you reached out from this podcast, I'm going to send you a gift on me, because I want you to reach out to him, because this is a game changer. This is the Uber of maintenance. I'm going to put it out there. It's public, and I do that because I'm Italian, and sometimes I do that. Shout outs, but I really see you being disruptive, correct?
Well, I'll double down on that. The first 2 that reach out with your tag name on it, I will send them a gift also.
Well, there we go. See, that's what servants do when they're on a podcast. We start giving the world away. Well, not the world, but that's fantastic. Thank you, Paul, for doing that, because
that's a double whammy right there.
Yeah. and I can see down the road this with fire departments, police departments, and we can go wide, and we don't have a lot of time to talk about that. I'm sure you've thought about that.
Yeah, it can. We're talking to medical companies at the moment about hygiene management in hospitals, for example.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
leaking taps or broken lights. It's visual photo task management for busy teams, doctors, nurses, and the like. So yes, we have a big future in task management, but right now we want to get the foundation right in the built environment, buildings, infrastructure, equipment. We'll stick to that for the near term, but we do have people using it for many different things at the moment. We'll keep our focus just for now.
Glad I learned that, because that's great. They can jump in and play with it and go with it.
Mhm.
So let's talk about, I mean, we know how you're building this great software. You have great experience, but I'm sure there's a book or two that you read that's helped you through your journey. Do you have any suggestions for my audience?
Yeah. There are a few. I got a lot of great value from just studying everything I could read about Steve Jobs and Jony Ive. It's just a wonderful story about two collaborators who had the same obsession around simplicity and
Yeah.
start with the customer and work back. And they they stuck to that religiously. You know, if something wasn't right, it didn't matter if we were going to ship a month late, they wanted to get it right. And they looked at everything over and over and kept iterating to make sure that they had the simplest, most intuitive design. And they weren't afraid of making mistakes. They weren't
Right.
afraid of introducing, you know, new concepts. Like Steve and Jony were always bringing in artists or musicians or people from other fields to contribute to their teams, and that took a lot of courage. And bringing that diversity and experience into these conversations ended up with the products that we have. So so at Snapfix, we're following the same line of thinking, where we love to talk to people from all walks of life, from all disciplines, and everybody's ideas and contribution is valuable, which is
Yeah.
really exciting. So the
Techno,
book,
go ahead, Paul.
right? So the book I was going to mention is Jony Ive, the genius behind Apple's greatest products, and it's just about focus. It really is. I love the whole story about when Steve left Apple, and then he came back after whatever a period of time in the wilderness, and they had about 40 products on the go, and he drew a cross on a whiteboard, and he said, we're going to do the best laptop for consumers, the best laptop for businesses, the best desktop for consumers, the best desktop for businesses. So 4 products, and he shelved everything else, and just absolute focus, absolute dedication to simplicity, and an enormous amount of bravery.
Great book, and they're right down the street from me. I'm in San Jose, as I told you, so they're 15 minutes. Their headquarters, that spaceship, crazy.
Yes.
But we won't get into that now. But you said simplicity 4 or 5 times on this podcast. That's the game changer for tech, right?
Uh-huh.
And why is that?
People love simple to use solutions. So we use Instagram, WhatsApp, Snapchat, TikTok as our inspiration. These are social platforms that have an emotional connection to their users, or the users have an emotional connection to them.
Mm-hmm.
We want to have our Snapfixers to be emotionally connected, because they feel good every time they get something done. At the end of the day, I've accomplished a huge amount. If my boss is what I was doing, I can show you everything I was doing. It's all in the palm of my hand. If I know what I want to be focusing on tomorrow or next week, I've got it. But when I describe Snapfix, sometimes it's like the Instagram for managing buildings and facilities. Very, very visual. It's enjoyable. It's easy to communicate. It's just that I think we're very visual people. We're very visual beings, and we also get a dopamine hit when we get things done, and it just feels good. So keeping it simple. We hate filling out forms for our taxes or for our health insurance forms. No one likes filling out forms, so we like to say we're declaring war on forms, and you'll never find a form in Snapfix.
And that's great, because forms are not getting smaller, they're getting bigger. as lawyers get involved, I'm sorry, lawyers out there, but I don't know, you have a job to do, but they just get larger when things happen. And the old McDonald's coffee routine, the lady dropped coffee on her and she made a 1.3 million or whatever that number was because she dropped coffee and completely changed the industry of coffee. I want to thank you for being on the show. This is, again, I'm a big tech guy. I'm super pumped what you're doing. Again, how can they reach out to you, my audience, some tech people or anybody?
Yeah, check us out on snapfix.com. You can check out the different industries we're working in. As I mentioned, we're focusing on hospitality, but there's a wide number of industries using it. And every time something new comes up, we just pop it up there, and it helps share some of the knowledge and some of the learnings we're getting working with these communities as well.
And I love this, Paul. You're in Australia, correct?
I lived in Australia. I am Irish,
right?
And so, but my accent is probably a little bit battered from being all over the world for a long time.
That's, what I love. You could do this business anywhere, travel, and that's the beautiful thing about tech.
It really is. Everything we do is cloud based. Everything is simple. As I mentioned, we've got customers on five continents. I mean, it's just so rewarding for us when we hear. We have, I'll tell you, the one I love, we have the remotest educational facility on the planet.
Really?
It's in the middle of a desert in Africa. They're called Learning Lions. If anyone Googles them, they got in touch some time back about maintaining their facility. And I said, guys, there's no way I can charge you for this. I love what you guys are doing, and delighted to be helping you guys. The remotest facility the educational facility on the planet. We love that.
Well, that's a servant's heart. That's why you're on the show. That's
Absolutely.
why we connected with each other. Think about that story, everybody. When you think about what you're doing, if you will, should I pay charge or not? Always put the free part in your head once in a while. At least think about it. Well, thanks again for being on the show. You are tremendous. I wish you great success. I want to have you back on with updates. But let's leave the audience. You've had a great journey. You started with your background. What have you learned in your journey, advice or piece of advice you can give my audience?
During this entire journey, and of course we went through COVID as well, so many of my mentors, advisors, friends were just so kind at certain points in time. Investors were kind when we were, we hit that bumpy road like everybody did during COVID. Our customers were kind. They knew that, they were in trouble. We wanted to keep them as customers. We had great conversations. We lost no customers. So my message from this entire experience is just be kinder. I'm trying every day of the week to be a little bit kinder this month than I was last month, because I've just benefited from so much kindness since building Snapfix. Our very first customer, I can now do about 6 bunny hops to a company I talked to this week, where it literally just referred all the way along. And the kindness of that first person to have faith in Snapfix and cut a check for, when the proof of the pudding with any startup is when your first customer pays for your service, right? And he's still a phenomenal customer and advocate of ours. And it's just kindness is my new word.